although there is a clear difference on one point between panelists and participants. None of you ever questioned the relevancy of the sectoral impact of climate change on our industry. Nobody has looked at it on a sectoral basis. I understand that you all want to move forward and deal not so much with the issue as with remedial measures. Some people from the hall asked about leadership and the leadership role possibly of UNWTO in taking proactive measures to remedy the situation, to offset the negative impact of climate change. I believe that such a trend in this meeting should be reflected in the Davos Declaration. We're no longer discussing on the impact and assessment of the impact of climate change. We're on to the next stage, i.e. Doing. Now, unless the industry takes the initiatives and a proactive stance to present measures that are likely appropriate to counter the impact of climate change, you can imagine that these measures will be taken by others, probably by governments, and may have a negative impact on the profitability of the industry and its capacity to adjust to new conditions. I believe the industry should be proactive on this and take the lead in carrying out changes and implementing changes necessary. Another point I'd like to make, Mr. Brown's the Prime Minister of Norway, Mrs. Brundtland, suggested and put forward the need for sustainable development. I agree that we should think globally and act locally on sustainable development. This is my plea for today. Now, I'm getting a bit closer to the topic of your discussion for today. I would like to submit a review of the work carried out by a North American and Quebecan study group on the impact of climate change over 29 to 30 years. They worked out a model of the data and factored it in the industrial data provided by the skiing industry. Based on that modelization, they suggested that changes be brought to the skiing industry in order to enable it to survive climate change. In the case of Quebec, they reached two major conclusions. We have 1,500 ski resorts, 12 with international capacity. Most of our ski resorts in Quebec are in dire straits. Within 15 to 20 years, it is reckoned they won't have enough snow to enable them to survive. Those that are farther up north have a change of surviving. And the reason I'm giving you this example, I'm relating the experience, is that may be of use to such resorts as Zermatt or resorts in the lower Alps and others. Now, the good point about this study is that it is based on reliable models and reliable data may be useful to others. Thank you for your attention.